following is a Learfield presentation of the Rhody Sports Network. This is the Tammi Reiss Show on the Rhody Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show is brought to you by People's Credit Union, the official credit union of URI Women's Athletics. New England Laborers, Liuna, Feel the Care. Pizza Gourmet, Rhode Island's Wood Grilled Pizza Crust, is a proud sponsor of URI Athletics. Haxton Liquors, where we buy the most so you pay the least. Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Orthopedics Rhode Island, the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for URI Athletics. Dave's Fresh Marketplace, better food, better service. Now, here's your host, Zach Austin.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tammi Reiss Coaches Show, powered by Newport Craft. We're here live in Newport at Newport Craft Brewing and Distilling. Thank you for being such great hosts tonight. We want to thank a few of our partners. People's Credit Union is the official partner of URI Women's Athletics, and the New England Laborers are training today's workforce to build tomorrow's communities. With cutting-edge facilities in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, you'll gain the classroom and job site experience needed for a rewarding career in construction. I'm here with the head coach for the Rhode Island Rams, Tammi Reiss. Great run continues for your group, 19-2 on the season, 10-0 in the Atlantic 10, 13 wins in a row, which is tied for the longest win streak in program history. And since the last time we spoke here on this show, a couple gritty road wins at Dayton and then at Fordham back on Saturday. As always, to open the show, just your thoughts on how those last few games went, and of course the Dayton trip as well, which was kind of all over the place.
Well, first I'd like to thank Newport Craft. This is a great spot, great food, good people, better drinks. So thank you, Newport Craft, for hosting us. We've never been here before. I've not. So really, really nice spot. Being on the road, obviously two gritty road wins. It's always hard in conference to play on the road. But Dayton trip was a little bit, we had some adversity there on the way to the charter. Our bus kind of had a little blowout, and here comes the smoke. And suddenly all the kids are on the side of the road, coaches jumped in the cars and went and got them, and we got out okay, thank God. And then we played the game. Obviously, the snowstorm hits. So we wake up, and suddenly no fans, no one's allowed in. And it was the eeriest, kind of weirdest scenario. It was like a close scrimmage, really, with even less people. But again, they showed up and did what they do in the fourth quarter and eked it out. And then we got stuck in Dayton for 2 more days because we couldn't get out on our charter. And, the girls had a great time. They always have fun, but came back and got ready for Fordham. And it's never easy to play down in Fordham. And so, again, another fourth quarter execution game where we got stops. We scored, and then we made free throws at the end of the game. So you got to be able to defend and rebound on the road, and that's what we did against Dayton and Fordham. So I was really, really happy about that.
Yeah, it always helps, too, to have a bye week in a situation like that. You don't have to worry about disrupting your schedule. But, going back to that Dayton game, right, and this group plays so well on the road. 10 road wins is tied most in program history with still plenty of games to go. It's tied for the best under you since you took over as the head coach. But when you're in an adverse situation where you're stuck for longer, things aren't really going the way you anticipated, does that kind of bring the team closer together? Do those trips bring out the best in your players when they have to spend that extra time together?
It's funny. Our players are very, very chill. I almost say they're nothing like me. I'm OCD. I'm very pop. So I have a tendency sometimes to freak out a little bit over, things don't go perfect. And I learned from them a lot of times, they're like, Coach, it is what it is, let's just have a good time. They go to the arcade. They have a good time. They are very fluid, and it's in their personality that they let things roll off their back and they're able to just move on to the next. It's no big deal, Coach. Let's just get it done. And so it's a great group in that respect that they don't get too tight. They don't get wound up. They're extremely loose, and sometimes I have to tighten them up. But, I do that for them, and then they unwind me a little bit. They're a great group to be around because they will calm you down and chill you out and just make you laugh, and that's what they did for those 2 days on the road. So, again, just a very relaxed, chill group of players, and I think they play well off each other in that respect. Even the most OCD, tightly wound players, for example, I'll use Inez. Inez is the most like me. She's very OCD. Everything's got to be scheduled. Everything's got to be on time. And I think bringing in people that are completely opposite of her has really loosened her up and let her just relax and play freely. So, it's a credit to some of the kids we brought in and what they've brought to our team, a different dynamic and a different personality.
It's interesting you bring up Inez and you bring up, having, different personality throughout the team compared to yourself. And we actually got a question on X right before the show from Bill Potter, kind of asking just that, given the team and their different energy this year, is there anyone that reminds you of yourself? Because that hasn't always been the case. And he specifically brought up trash-talking Wendy Leary as well. But is there anyone that kind of fits that mold of that, archetype that you played with back in your playing days?
I think the player that most resembles me and the way I was is Inez. She's just the way she shows up, and it's full throttle, nonstop, 100%. She's just that go through a brick wall kind of player. And so it'd be Inez, and she's most like me off the court. Everything's got to be scheduled to the T, to the minute, to the second. But the player with, I think, that can really trash talk and can really get a crowd going and just start to have fun once you start rolling is Brooklyn Gray, is BG. BG she feels it, and that's the kind of player I used to be. I used to do blow kisses to the crowd. I used to give the three. I used to do everything. My nickname was Hollywood, so you can imagine the antics I did after we scored or we had great plays. But I'd say BG in the celebratory state, probably most like me.
Great addition to the team this year, as are our two guests that we'll have later in the show, Tammi Reiss and Val Ojeda, who are here at Newport Craft with us today. By the way, a quick shout-out to Inez as well, the winningest player in program history and counting, and she's also approaching climbing the list towards the most games ever played in a Rhode Island uniform, which, given where we are in the college sports landscape, is a great accomplishment. Not
many players choose to stay at a university for 4 years anymore. Whether that's right or wrong, it's not. It's their choice. But Inez chose to stay, and she was committed. And when you do that, you have a chance to leave a legacy. You have a chance to break records. You have a chance to do some great things. And, Inez has been a part of her freshman year, our first championship team. So Say and Maddie and Emma and all those players, they taught her very, very well. And she's been able to carry that through. And hopefully this senior year of hers, she can do the same for our transfers and our young players and then cap it off with another A-10 championship. And that would just leave a legacy for her. I think one of the first players to have 2 A-10 championships.
We're here with the head coach, Tammi Reiss, and going back to our guests later in the show, Val and Tammi, both came in with playoff experience, and in Tammi's case, championship experience. You pair that with Inez and a group that's meshing together this year. I imagine that was a valuable part of what brought them to Rhody and to play for you.
Well, when I was in the portal and I saw Val and Tammi go in, though obviously both of them can shoot the basketball and spread it and score the ball, and we needed that desperately. I always allude to we had a really hard time scoring last year. And so running a motion offense, you need people that can spread the floor and shoot the ball. And so that was both of they had great attributes. And then Val was very skilled, could pass it also. And then Tammi was a great rebounder, great offensive rebounder, strong guard. And then their championship experience. Val played 3x3. So she's played internationally. She has great experience. And then the more I talk to Val, just professionalism. She is a lot like Inez in the fact that Val's very chill, but she is all about winning. She's all about preparation. She just wants to get better. Everything's about, Coach, get me better. I want to win, and then I want to be a pro. And how she goes about her business is so professional. So when I had a chance to talk to her, it was someone we had to have as a part of our program. I just had to. I fell in love with her. And again, just an unbelievable human being, puts the team before herself, and really chill, really fun. Now, the other one, Tammi. I already said she can shoot it, she can rebound. This one is brings a little bit of crazy to the team. Really, really fun. And I mean in a good way. Always joking, always laughing, never too serious. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that in a bad way. And again, played on the championship team. She knows what it takes to win. And again, always puts the team in front of herself. So these were two players, after I met them and got to know them as young women, I really wanted to bring that personality to us. Besides the basketball component, they just changed our locker room. They really do. One brings a level of maturity and business, and then the other one just brings a level of lightheartedness and comedy, and you need both. And so we are so thankful to have both. They really have made an impact in our locker room, on our team, and on the court.
No question about it, as Rhody hopes to get another regular season title and hopefully some more down the line as well. And another thing when it comes to these two as well that stands out to me is their positive mentality. And they both, in some ways had higher volume outputs at their old stops. They come here. Tavi started at the beginning of the year, now is coming off the bench, but both have key impact roles. We've seen them come in, get some key stops, get some key makes, some key three-pointers. What makes them so unselfish and so adaptable to being, with a new group this year in a new role?
You pray to God you get players that put the team before themselves. And unless you play sports, I don't think you understand what it is to be an athlete. Every athlete wants to play, and you want to play all the minutes. And then after you want to play and play all the minutes, you want to take all the shots. You want to be the one. And, they came from two programs where they had huge impacts. And, they may not get as many minutes, and some games they may. I just don't know, but it has never affected our team. They have never had ill will. They have never not come to practice and given 110%. Again, you pray for unselfish, coachable kids. And I tell them all the time, there'll be days where they dominate in practice. Val, the past 2 days, and Tavi have had incredible practices. They will get playing time. They will play the next game because of how they practice. But, they both have won us games at some point this season. Val won us the VCU game. She came in, and it was like offensive in the first half. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have won that game. And then Tavi came in the game, and same thing, instant offense, rebounding. And in that particular game, we needed that. And so, they're never not ready for you. They may not get always what they want, but they have never not been coachable, and they have never put themselves over the team. And as a unit, if you want to win a championship, you have to have unselfish kids. And those two in particular are extremely unselfish. But then I can go down the line and say, if I was Brooklyn Gray, I'd be like, give me the ball. I want to score 30 points. I want to be Maggie Dugan, player of the week, every week. And she does not do that. She defers. Palmier's the same way. Sophie V's the same way. They are very connected as a team. They are very unselfish, and they play for each other. And whoever's night it is, that's their night, and they enjoy that. And so, again, as a coach, you cannot teach that. And that's human being characteristics. And when we went in the portal, we were blessed and lucky enough to find great human beings above basketball players. And that's what's made our team so special this year. It really has.
You'd think they've been playing together for years, just how well they work together and the chemistry we've seen on the court. And it was cool to see as well Val go back to VCU, a bit of a homecoming for her, make the impact she did. And having so many conference transfers, that's bound to happen where they see their old school. We got one coming up this weekend with Brooklyn Gray and St. Louis. For your group and the players you brought in, is that just another game? Is it business as usual, or is there a little more to that when those come up on the calendar?
For me, it's another game, but as a player, I was a player once. If I ever left Virginia and we were playing Virginia, oh, you better know I'd want to give it to them. That's the player in you. If you don't feel that way, some sort of way, you're not a competitor. Of course you want to play well against your former team. And so I try not to make a big deal of it, but, I always know the players that, put me in, coach, let me go. And I just had an inkling Val was going to be ready for that game for whatever reason. And she got in, and she really gave us a boost in that first half. So it's always nice to see that. It's always nice to see, you look down, and after she hits her second three, the coach is going, oh, my God, not this one. And so that, as me, and I know it made Val feel good, but that makes me feel kind of good. So we've done it with Emma. We did it with Madison. And, you know, for me, it doesn't really mean anything, but I would hope it does for our players. I want to see them succeed against their former teams.
Speaking with the head coach for Rhode Island women's basketball, Tammi Reiss, and as we touched on earlier, a 13-game winning streak. This team's winning streak right now active is tied 6th longest in the country. The road winning streak is tied 4th longest. And, you know, you've talked so much about, you know, focusing on yourself, focusing on the team, not looking too far ahead. And there's always pressure to continue winning, especially, you know, given how long this streak has gone for. But now you've got all kinds of history as well hanging in the balance. How do you keep that focus internalized? How do you keep your focus ahead and not worry about the outside noise?
Well, you can ask Tavi and Val, you know, what it's like in practice and the speeches we give. And, you know, the goal is one game at a time. It's one game at a time, who we're prepping for, who's in front of us. You don't look back and you can't look forward. And so, you know, every game is a gauntlet. Every game in the A10 matters. And so there's no one more important than the other. Now, naturally, the top teams in the conference, your kids are always up for. I told you, I'm always paranoid. It's the teams that are at the bottom that can get you, that they'll sleepwalk in. So you can ask them how. I'm a little bit different when we're playing a Fordham or a Duquesne, that I'm really on them in practice. I got to keep them sharp. I think it was Val who said iron sharpens iron. That was her quote yesterday. So we've got to stay sharp. No matter who we play, we've got to be ready. And that's something that our coaching staff, I really think, does a great job at keeping them focused at the task at hand and not getting caught up in all the external noise or the factors that can get you unfocused. And so, you know, our goal tomorrow is to roll into the St. Joe's game. They know what they have to do to be successful, and then we execute.
Kind of shifting gears a little bit, and we know that you're not big on individual honors, but you have a few members of the staff here, Corey Macchione, Jen Fay, our trainer Rosie's here, just to name a few. You were named to the Kathy Delaney Smith Mid-Major Coach of the Year mid-season watch list, and you know that's obviously an honor that's indicative of your entire staff and program, but also a great recognition for yourself and other coaches in the Atlantic 10.
Well, you know, I'm just proud because, again, you said it. Any individual award that our players get, it's because of the team. It really is. You can't do what you do without everyone else's contributions. And I say this all the time. My staff is absolutely incredible. They work tirelessly. You know, I'll roll in at 6 in the morning, and there's Jen Fay with the point guards at 6 in the morning before practice, getting shots up, making sure they do what they do. Then there's Agni and Allie down at the other end with the post players working on finishing, and Albina. And you know, Corey takes care of everything off the court. He works endlessly. Tyler's doing all our video. It takes a village to be successful. Rosie keeping our kids injury free. I don't know if you know how important it is to prevent injuries, which Jamie and Dan do a great job, strength and conditioning team. And then Rosie, getting them back. We've had sicknesses. We have injuries. They don't miss games. They play through it. And Rosie's done an amazing job. And so that village, that is really, you know, the mid-major coach of the year. That's you don't get that without that. And you definitely don't get it without players. Listen, coaches prepare players to win games. Players win coaches' games. They make the shots. They make the plays. And I've said it as a player. My coach got Coach of the Year one year, and I'm like, no, we got you that. We did it. And I'll say the same thing today. They're the ones that make you shine. You have to have good players to win. You have to. If you don't, you're not going to win. You could be the best coach in the world. You've got to have good players to win. And thank God we have really, really good players, and I have a really good staff at the University of Rhode Island.
We'll be talking to a couple of those players, Tavi, Habib, and Val Ojeda, coming up in a few minutes, but a few more questions in the meantime. One question that we've gotten, and this was something that kind of shifted a few weeks ago, but we haven't specifically addressed, and that's Palmyra and Boo being listed as a senior. This is her second year with the program. She did play pro overseas a little bit before coming over. So for those who may not know, why is Palmyra, now considered a senior?
Well, I think we listed her after the ruling came out from the NCAA, but Palmyra played a few years pro overseas. She decided not to come over originally and stayed, and then decided, well, now I want to come over. And so the NCAA deemed she only had 2 years left. They took 2 years off the clock for her. So last year was one of them, and then this year would be the last one now. The ruling that just challenged with, the pro player that came back, and now you got another guy who played 10 games in the NBA, and if that passes and they let him come back and play, Palmier could possibly petition, and you must hire a lawyer and you must go through the process, but to get her 2 years back. But as of now, she's a senior, and depending on everything that shakes out with the NCAA and Congress and all of the rulings, she could petition and try to get a year or two back. But she, as of now, is listed, and she is a senior.
Another member of the class who came in last year from France, Mary-Kate Chibois, missed a lot of time with a knee injury last year, is now back at full health, and it never hurts to get more depth at this point in the season. What does her coming back mean for your group?
It's really important. I've been a little leery in playing her in games right now, going up and down full contact, only because she was limited a little bit to half-court reps and really wasn't in shape enough to get up and down where I felt comfortable with the knee. The last thing I want to do is injure someone coming back, and Rosie's been very, very good with that as well and the rehab. But I think MK's at the point now that she's ready. She could be inserted in games and be okay for limited minutes going up and down, and I would feel comfortable with that. But, MK's had 2 ACLs, and, I'm players' health is the most important thing to me. So once they look like they're in shape and the fatigue wouldn't affect her, if I can't get her out and there's no timeout and we start going up and down, I was a little leery about her conditioning yet, but she looks better and better every day. So she's right there ready to be inserted in the game, and we could use the depth. We definitely could use the muscle. She's looked really, really good in practice, and she is strong and she is big. And so she could really help us down the stretch, but she will be ready. And again, that's kudos to Jamie, Dan, and Rosie on getting her back and getting her ready.
Speaking of recruits and your upcoming recruits for next year, it was announced late last week that your 3 incoming freshmen, Bailey Harris, Katie Liggio, and Kiki Scott, were all McDonald's All-American nominees. Last 2 years, you've had 5 total. I think all 6 of your last American recruits have been nominees, and that's 8 dating back to 2021. What does that honor mean for them individually and for you and your staff as recruiters?
Well, as a player, an American player, it's the highest honor. If you not only a nominee is a great honor, you actually make the All-American game. You're an elite women's and men's player. So to have our kids, and again, that's kudos to my staff that recruit at a very, very high level now in the United States. And so Jen and Allie, they do an amazing job at identifying great talent that fit our culture and that fit our playing style. And now we're able to get in on some kids and beat some kids out that are really, really good players. And so really happy with this freshman class. Again, they fit a motion system. They can shoot it, and they can pass it. They come from winning programs, and they'll be ready to play as freshmen when they come in. So, again, really, really excited about this freshman class.
Another thing that was announced a few weeks ago, and there's a lot to it, and we kind of touched on it with some rulings that have come out as the new guidelines from the NCAA in terms of the transfer portal, and some of the highlights are now it doesn't open until after the NCAA title game. It's open for 15 days. If you're a mid-year player, you're not eligible, even if you didn't play, if you were enrolled at an NCAA school. And, of course, if there's a coaching changes, there's a 15-day portal opening within 30 days. Just your thoughts on that.
I like it. I think it was really, really hard for people preparing for the NCAAs. You work so hard for a whole year to get to that point, and you're prepping your team, and yet everyone who's not playing gets to get in the portal and get a head start on you, and a big head start. And it's really hard for a staff to focus on winning basketball games and scouting and doing all those things and still get in the portal and make calls. It's almost near impossible. So I really thought it was unfair for you need to reward teams for getting to the postseason, not hurt them and make them work harder. And so I thought that was a good ruling. And I think to shorten the window, listen, kids will know. if they want to go in or not go in, and get yourself in there and give yourself enough time to find a new home. So I love that it waits till after the championship game and then they shorten the window. I think that's a good thing for everyone involved. The only thing I don't like, and I'll say this, and I think a lot of coaches feel this way, is I really, really think NIL, I believe in it. Let the kids make money off their name, image, and likeness. It's a business now, but I really, truly believe that, to let them transfer 4 times, sometimes 5 times now if they get injured, it's kind of ruined our game. It's ruined fans' experience of getting to know players and cheering for players. And I think, again, you call a school a home for you. The people that are going to help you down the road 10 years from now getting you jobs, you have no true home. And you have the college experience. It's become a business. And so I believe with other coaches, and we want to fight for this, is you get the one-time transfer rule. You can make as much money as you want, but one-time transfer rule. And if your coach leaves, yes, you should be able to transfer again. But, make the right decision. If you didn't make it the first time, you get a second chance. But the 4 and 5 times a transfer, I do not believe in it. I just don't, and I know a lot of coaches don't. And I know a lot of universities and institutions don't. When it comes down to education and really, doing what you do, I think they need to go backwards in that. Not NIL, but definitely the transfer. I think we need to revisit that.
We're here with the head coach of Rhody women's basketball, Tammi Reiss. Before we close out this half of the show, 3-game homestand at the Ryan Center coming up beginning tomorrow night against St. Joe's. There's also the alumni game on Sunday against St. Louis, honoring that 95-96 NCAA tournament team, a 30-year anniversary of that. And you've had some alums come back. Sophie Phillips stopped by. Maya Torre helped prep for a game, as did Say Lassiter, some great Rams. And obviously, filling the seats would benefit your group and give you a real home court advantage. So before we leave, the last word to you, what are you hoping to see this weekend with the alumni game, but just in general with your home attendance and building up Rhody Nation and getting some more fans in seats?
Well, obviously we really want the support. Our girls love playing in front of the fans, but this whole season we called this, the celebration of 30 years, and this marks, and Coach Linda's here, and I'm so happy to have her here today. But, remembering your history, and I told our team this, listen, it's been 30 years since a team went to the NCAAs led by Coach, and, we're going to celebrate that. And we've called that this year. We were going after that, and it's really funny that it's the 30-year celebration of that, and we're on the precipice of possibly doing that and being the second team at Rhody women's basketball to be able to do that. And so I'm really, really proud to celebrate that team, Coach, give them the recognition they deserve, and start to build on that URI can be a place that women's basketball thrives. And it's the place that I love our fans. I love our core fans. But if we can build it up to 3,000 to 5,000 strong, that's a home court advantage. That becomes, a definite home court advantage. And I remember that 22-23 season when we played Dayton, that last home game. I remember it was Dayton the year before, and then that last one, I believe it was Dayton again, and we beat them. And we won the championship, and the confetti fell. We had like 5,000 fans there. The place was rocking, and it was packed. And so my hope is to recognize our history and our past, and at the same time usher in our future with 5,000 strong in the Ryan Center, blowing that place up, and we can give them something to cheer about. So, yes, I want to pack that place for our last 3 games, this 3-game homestand, really give us that advantage, and hopefully give our fans great basketball and 3 home dubs.
That would be a lot of fun, and we've seen some other coaches give away some beer. I don't know if you can promise that yet, but anything to get them in the seats.
Listen, I would do it if Up the Hill would allow me. I heard it's a whole thing.
Boy.
I saw Josh Schertz behind a bar after St. Louis, annihilated Dayton, and he's taking blue shots and he's selling shots, and then I heard the Board of Trustees got mad at him. But listen, if I could buy beers for everybody, I would. If we could do the promotion, I'll do it. We just got to get the approval from Up the Hill. I don't want to upset our Board of Trustees and our administration, but, it is a basketball arena. We do sell beer there, so I don't see why I couldn't buy everyone one drink, one beer, and get the party started.
Beer or not, it's a great basketball team, and it's certainly worth a watch. Coach, thanks for joining us, as always, on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach, and thank you, everybody, for coming out. Go, Rhody.
We'll be right back on the show. We'll have Taviana Habib and Valentina Ojeda joining us on the other side of this. From Learfield, it's the Tammi Reiss Coaches Show, presented by People's Credit Union, live on the Rhody Sports Network. Welcome back to the Tammi Reiss Coaches Show, powered by Newport Craft Brewing and Distilling. We're live here in Newport, and we're happy to have you all with us here in the building and listening live on the Rhody Sports Network as well. We want to thank Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Family owned and operated since 1959, Newport Propane will treat you like part of the family. Visit them at newportpropane.com. And the Pizza Gourmet, Rhode Island's wood-grilled pizza crust, is a proud supporter of URI Athletics. Order online today at woodgrilledcrust.com. That's woodgrilledcrust.com. Before I introduce our guests, I do want to give a shout-out again, as Coach Reiss did a few moments ago, to Linda Zemke, who led the first Rhody NCAA tournament team 30 years ago in 1995-96. She's here with us at Newport Craft tonight, 21-8 record, and they'll be honored this Sunday in the game against St. Louis. So thank you for being here with us. Now we're introducing our player guest. To my right, we have Taviana Habib, a grad transfer who came over from championship George Mason team, and Valentina Ojeda, who came over also as a grad transfer from VCU. And I got to lead off by asking, how is the food here? Because it looks so good.
It was great. I had the crab fries.
There you go.
It was great.
Fire.
I got the chicken bacon ranch. It
Ooh,
was good. It was great.
Got to try that one.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you not just here on the show tonight, but at Rhode Island, and you guys followed different paths to get here, but there's some similarities along the way. So just to start off, and I'll start with you, Tavi, how did you get involved with basketball? When did you start playing growing up?
I was a late bloomer. I did whatever my auntie did as in sports or any activities. She's only a couple months older than me, so I would say 8th grade, middle school, summer area is when I actually took it seriously, where I was like, oh, I like basketball, And then that's when AAU, got introduced to AAU, and then I started playing it.
How about you, Val?
Well, all my family kind of play basketball. They also gave me the chance to play another sports. I played soccer, but at the end I ended up with basketball. I think it was my parents played basketball too, so I ended up with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you guys played any other sports as well, or just basketball.
I was a track star.
Ooh.
No way.
No way. Not. I was a track star.
Now we got to see what your 100-meter time is at practice.
I wasn't a sprinter, though.
Oh, I see. You were long distance.
Yeah.
You're all about the long distance.
Yeah,
hey, that's good for
800,
40 minutes of basketball. You got to have that endurance. So, of course, you both end up here, but, this was the third stop collegiately for both of you. In fact, you both were at the JUCO level to begin. Tavi, you played at Indian River State College, and Val, you were at Independence Community College. For both of you, and Val, we'll start with you. What did that stop at community college? What did that teach you, and how did that help you in your basketball career?
Well, JUCO for me was very different playing from Chile. I mean, before that I was playing in high school here in the United States, so I kind of knew how it was the style of play here in the United States. But going to JUCO, obviously, it's a very different level than playing now in Division I. It helped me a lot to obviously communication and just adapting to the style here, which I think is very different to other countries. It's very one-on-one. So it helped me a lot going from JUCO to here now. So,
what was your experience like?
JUCO taught me how to practice with no water breaks. That's what I would say. But JUCO taught me more so of how to get through not having as many resources as playing as hard as we do now, if you feel what I'm saying. So I guess it would say how to adapt with the low resources. I say that's how JUCO helped me now.
Yeah, and of course, you both made your way to the Atlantic 10, but not with Rhode Island at first. Val, you were at VCU, and Tavi, you were at George Mason, both for 2 years. You both obviously had success in playoffs, and in your case, a championship. And then you both entered the portal, and you end up in Rhode Island. And just walk us through what that was like in your first interactions with Coach Reiss.
If I can remember, when I entered the transfer portal, it was a lot. I took some time. I didn't respond to any coaches, I think, for about a week. being on the phone with multiple coaches, none of them were like me being on the phone with Coach Reiss. So after the first conversation I had with Coach Reiss, I think we were on the phone for maybe an hour and some change. She was the only coach I was on the phone for that long, and the questions weren't repetitive. I wasn't repeating myself. It was deeper. So after probably my first conversation, I knew where I was going to go. Didn't tell her that, of course. But that's how I say my experience was talking to Coach Reiss.
No, for me it was kind of the same. I think the conversation we had was very smooth. I think I knew her a little bit because she was part of the 3x3 USA national team. So we talk a lot about that, which was something very important for me before coming here to Rhode Island, to be in part to represent my national team in 3x3. So no, it was very smooth, a very energetic coach that I didn't have before. So it was good.
Did you guys envision when you entered the portal you'd stay in the Atlantic 10, or was that kind of just a happy accident?
No, it was like you said, like a happy accident.
Yeah.
I told myself I wasn't. It didn't work out, but yeah, I didn't want to.
Were there any moments in the handshake line after the game where you saw Coach Reiss and she's like, "Good game, you beat us out there"? Anything like that, or is it just straight business and you got to the portal?
Straight business.
Yes,
it was
straight business.
Val, I wanted to go back to you because you mentioned the connection with 3x3, which, of course, Coach Reiss coached in the Olympics for that team, for Team USA. You played most recently out in the Philippines for the U23 World Cup this past summer. And first of all, what was that experience like for you, and what aspects of 3x3 have you seen here in your game at Rhode Island?
Well, 3x3 is a very different style of play than 5-on-5. I think 3x3 helps you a lot to defend, which is still something that I need to improve. And it's just a lot of like cardio too. It's a lot of conditioning too. But like I said before I came to the Transporter, I needed a team that would allow me to have this 3x3 experience before coming to play. And I think 3x3 also helps me playing more professionally. You play with other people that play already in EuroLeague and all that, so it gives you a lot of experience too. So it's very nice.
Something I'm curious too when it comes to your recruitment process, and something that's said so often is the relationship building. And you kind of touched on this, Tammi, with the phone call with Coach Reiss and how long you two talked for, the relationship and the personable aspect to it, and also the fact that Coach Reiss played professionally. I know that's a goal of both of yours. So when it comes down to that, was that something that you had a perception of before joining the program, or is that something you that really led you here after the fact?
I think the relationship thing was huge for me before I came here, but like I said, the first phone call, that relationship that we had built instantly, then it brought me to Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think a relationship is very important to have in a team with the coaches, with the players. I think that's what. Obviously, it's a business, but at the end, that's what brings you championships and winning games. So I think it was very important.
We're here with Tammi, Habib, and Val Ojeda for Rhody women's basketball, 2 grad transfers from the Atlantic 10. And, I have a list of questions in front of me, but Coach kind of gave me one during the last segment when it comes to playing against your former team, which will inevitably happen when you stay in the conference. And, Val, you already had a chance to visit VCU earlier this year. You had a great first half. You put up 8 points against them. And Tammi, later this year, you'll see George Mason as well. For you guys, is that something you circle on the calendar? Is that something you think about during the year? Or is that just another game for you? Just go one game at a time.
You first?
It don't matter.
No, for me, yes. Obviously, I think that was also why I came ready to play that game. But no, I think it was because all the memories that it brought me when because we went over there to play. So all the memories that brought me good and obviously not that good. But
we don't have to get into those.
Yeah, no. But no, obviously, I think it was a date that I wanted to have. So,
how about you?
I would say it's all love for George Mason, but I feel as though every game is just as big as the other. Of course, like Coach Reiss said, I do want to play well going against my former school, but it's not like I'm like, Mason. No, I would say every game's the same. I want to show up every game how I would do if I play, like when we play Mason, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to play well.
We're here with Tammi Habib and Val Ojeda, and when it comes to you two as well, in joining Rhode Island, there's a lot of international presence, and Val, you add to that. I believe 8 total on the roster, 6 of which are from France. So my question to both of you, and I'll start with you, Val, is have you guys picked up any French in your time here at Rhody?
I tried to pick up some because also all my roommates are like from France, like with Inez and with Palm and Lily. So I need to start to learn more French, but no, I not really.
You still have time, don't worry.
Yeah, I still have that. So you?
How about you?
I think I am French.
No.
Honestly.
Do you have a favorite word? Is it something you can say?
I don't know what I'm saying.
What is that word that they say out there? Like wesh.
Ula. Oh.
No. That's like okay, right? No, that's good.
I don't think so.
Okay.
The FCC isn't listening to our broadcast, so we're okay. Kind of on that note, it's been a short stay for both of you, but if you had to think back to your journey so far this year, whether it's a road trip or game or just something, an experience you had with your teammates, and I'll start with you, Tammi. Is there any experience that stand out as your favorite so far at Rhode Island?
I think everything. It's never a calm moment with us. Like it's a year of abundant memories, literally. Like anything could happen, or we have BG screaming, or we have the Frenchies saying something in French and I'm trying to repeat it. Like it's all good memories, honestly. So no, I wouldn't say I have my favorite.
Your favorite's the next one.
Right, literally, the one that's coming.
Yeah, no, same. All been like good memories with this team. I would say even like the trip we had to Ohio was so good, like a lot of memories too. But no, it's good.
Did you ever think you'd be stuck somewhere for that long and have to adapt to that?
No, well, I was kind of prepared because it was all over the news that it would this winter storm.
Oh, yes.
So I was like, we're gonna stay in Ohio now.
Bring a few extra pairs of pants, be ready.
So.
Coach Tammi has her full luggage, so she was there for a year. She'd be ready, you know what I'm saying?
She was ready.
Coach Reese is always ready. So, but Corey was like, pack for extra days. They say X, Y, and Z may happen. So we were prepared. It didn't feel like we were stuck, honestly. I had a blast. I was at the arcade. I was at the mall. Got some good perfume and stuff. So
it was a good thing your luggage made it because it was a little scare earlier in the trip, too. That must have been interesting.
I wasn't worried. I'm wearing her clothes. It's cool.
Yeah, she had
Coach
for everybody.
got you.
Right.
Well, there you go. That's the reason you came here. Coach got you covered no matter what. I wanted to go back to something we touched on in the first segment as well for you two, and you both played a pretty sizable role in your last stops, and here you still have an impact role, maybe not as much volume, but you guys come in, you hit some key shots or have some key stops, and both of you are so unselfish. I'll start with you, Tammi. Where does that come from when it comes to your mindsets and joining this team and working yourselves into the spot you're in now?
Like you said, we're both very unselfish. So I would just say I was taught that there's no I in team. Team before me, you hear all those sayings growing up, and then coming JUCO as well. JUCO, you want to, get out, you know what I'm saying? But as the JUCO that I came from, we were taught to play together. And, my role has changed, but that doesn't mean we don't have a role on this team. And it can literally be anybody's night. So I feel like we're very, I guess you could say, how do I say this? We're deep. I'm aware that we're very deep. There we go, very deep. So, again, like I said, it's anybody's night, and this will just prepare us for anything that's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I think that, first when I put myself in the transfer program, my idea was to win a championship. And that was on the first talk that I had with Coach Reese. I wanted to win a championship, and I would do whatever it takes to make a championship. And if that change my role from what I was at BCU, that it is. So, you always got to be ready, whatever it is. Whether is it 1 minute, is it 10 minutes, is it whatever you that's the mentality that I have every game. So.
Tavi, I want to ask you about this, and anyone that was at Media Day or saw the media pictures, I'm sure picked up on your furry little friend that you have at home, Pickle. I have to ask, how did you come up with the name Pickle, and how long have you had your cat for?
Pickle, actually, that name came from an old friend. Nothing major. It was just we met through Pickles, and then I wanted a cat when I moved to Virginia, and I found beautiful Pickle, and the name Pickle came along, and we was like, okay, Pickle, so this is my third year having him. I have to correct you on that. He's my son. He's not my friend. But yeah, I've had Pickle for 3 years now.
I was hoping we'd have Pickle on the coach's show, but maybe that will be a future guest for another time. But that was really cool to see at Media Day with you and your son. Just a really cool moment. I had to get it right that time.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to ask you guys, and we kind of did this towards the close of the show last time with Big Soph and Albina. 3 words to describe you, and thankfully I didn't have to ask you guys specifically for that because you guys, when you signed, already gave 3 words to describe your play. So I just wanted to ask you about which one most resonates with you, or maybe one you would add. I'll start with you, Val. You described yourself as tough, smart, and spicy. Which one do you think you most identify with, or is there one you'd like to add?
I would like shoot it over there too. But yeah, I would say smart, professional.
And Coach Reiss described you as unselfish as well, and we've talked a lot about that. But he also talked about your IQ and your efficiency on offense, and something I've been amazed with is your ability to just come in and make shots, even if you're just coming off the bench. You've been in for a minute. How have you kind of made your game so proficient in that sense? You can just come in and hit shots automatic.
I think it's just the mentality that you have, the mentality that you always gotta be ready. Also, for example, if at the second quarter, if I need to move, I go to the side and maybe I'll do some some jumping jacks or fast feet or something like that. So you just gotta be ready. It's a mental game all the time. So.
No question about it. And for you, Tavi, the 3 you used were impactful, resilient, and determined. What do those 3 mean to you? And maybe is there anything else you'd like to include?
I guess I got to add crazy because Coach Reiss says I'm crazy. But no, I would keep it the same. I would say resilient, the roles being changed and just being able to adapt in any type of way that there is and being ready, honestly.
Yeah, and when you look at this season, you guys have plenty of goals, I'm sure, for yourself. And we know, beyond this year, obviously going professionally is a big goal for you. But when you look at both your game individually and also, where your goals are for the team this season, and I'll start with you, Tavi. Where do you hope to be by the end of this season?
Honestly, we're going to I want to go step by step.
Okay.
I don't want to go future-wise. Of course, I want to say we want to go we want to win the A10, but right now that's my focus. Future will come. I'm comfortable with my family and my circle that I have around me to where if I'm at a point where I don't know, I can lean on Coach Reiss or my family, Coach Jen in the back and them, to help me out there. So I would say right now I'm going to focus on getting to where we need to be and focusing on our main goal is winning the A10.
That's a good perspective to have.
No, same. Just focusing on the present, focusing on what I have right now, in the people that surround me, and focusing on tomorrow. I think it's important too. So.
I had to ask both of you too. Coming from so far away, you being from Florida, Tavi, and you being from Chile, for Val. How familiar were you with Rhode Island and New England before being here, if at all? And what are your impressions so far?
I never heard of Rhode Island before. I thought, because it was so small, I thought it was part of all the New York. I don't know. New York was the only thing that I knew close to here. So, no, and it's very cool, very different from Chile. So.
Yeah, I had no idea. I had none.
And you're from here? You didn't know?
No, I'm not from here. I'm from Florida. Listen, when I'm telling you, when I was driving up here I came straight from George Mason. My mom was like, "You're around so many states," and I'm like, "But I'm in Rhode Island." And she was so excited. You got to visit here and here. I'm like, "Ma, I don't." And then when I got here and the snowstorms and all this extra snow, Virginia had its snow, but this is not No, this is like something else. This is crazy.
I was going to ask about the snow and the cold because it has been so rough the last week or so. You must have been like, that's not what I signed up for.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. And then sometimes I feel like I adapt and like I'm really from here, you know, and I'm coming out here like, oh, I don't need my little puffer jacket, you know. I be freezing.
You know, if you never heard before, Rhode Island does sound like a nice place. It has island in the name. You know, you think maybe it's
sunny.
Yeah, very different. Hey, if you're here in the summer, though, that makes up for it. I got to ask, you know, when you join Rhode Island and you join a team like this, you know, what do you – how do I word this? What do you hope your legacy is at the end of the day? I know you don't like to futurize so much, but maybe just right now, you know, in the present. What do you hope, you know, when your time at Rhode Island is over, what do you hope you're remembered for? That's a big question.
What would I remember? I need to think more.
I mean, I think I just want to be remembered as somebody who worked hard, a great personality, a good person, you know. I like having a smile on my face. Again, quoting Coach Reiss, I'm crazy. So just when you see me, you just know you're going to smile or I will be smiling, you know. I want to be remembered as that player or like you said, unselfish. And again, one of the players who won A-10, you know. So that's how I want to be remembered.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
For me, the same. Very hard worker person. Very like resilient too, and just like very like how you say this, like very like business, like very like professional to what I am doing. So yeah, I would like to be remembered like that. So. Yeah. And obviously the A-10.
Yes. That was a bit of a heavier question, so I want to close out a little bit on a lighter one. What's one, maybe two things about you each that fans might not know about you off the court, but you think is interesting besides pickle? Obviously, we all know about pickle, but what else pops to your mind?
It has to be like what?
Anything besides basketball. I know basketball is a big part of your lives, but maybe something else interesting, a fun fact about yourself.
Fun fact.
Dang.
I really got you guys at that one.
No, for real. I'm a dancer, I guess.
No. Oh my God. Fun fact.
I know. This is really hard.
Yes.
Talking about it.
I don't know. I like to play video games.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite game?
Right now, I would say playing on the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
So I would say like Pokemon.
There you go. Hey, I know some people out there still play Pokemon Go, so it's still a popular one.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys too. You know, as we're towards the end of the show, 3-game homestand. Starting with St. Joe's on Wednesday night tomorrow. What's your experience been playing at the Ryan Center in front of this crowd, especially for both of you having visited before? And what is your message to the fans who are going to be in the seats and who are going to be watching these next 3 games?
I need some energy. I need energy like y'all never done before. And Ryan Center, though, the fans are great. I want to say y'all are doing great. But let me hear some screaming.
Again, what was the question?
What's your experience been at the Ryan Center this year?
Experience? My experience from the Ryan Center?
Yeah, what's your favorite part about playing here?
Oh, the people. For sure, the fans. Yeah, I mean, like, it was very different from BCU. We barely have people there. So, no, the fans is very nice. The energy and all that, so it's good.
That's awesome. 3-game homestand coming up. It's going to be exciting. We'll have St. Joe's coming tomorrow, 6 p.m. tip. We'll have that on Rhody Sports Network if you can't be at the Ryan Center. Alumni Day with St. Louis on Sunday, and then another meeting with VCU a week from tomorrow. I do want to ask you guys, with the Alumni Day, we've had, Say last year come back, and Maya Torre has helped prep for some games. How cool is it to be able to work with those legends, I guess, around here in this part and in preparation for those games?
Me?
You.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors. Let's do it.
No, you.
I would say it's great, honestly, and then connecting with Say on a deeper level, like she comes around a lot more and helps us to practice and things. I would say it's great, and just to see that, like, they've been here, they've won. You know, they know Coach Reiss, and, you know, been under her wings. Like, Say has, you know, gave encouraging words to me, and, you know, it's just good to have that relation being a Ram, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm a Ram, and she used to be one. Like, just see that automatic connection because we are coming from under the same coach.
Yeah, you know, it's good to have experienced players that also already play for Coach Reiss. So, you know, it's good to have them. So.
Awesome. Well, we're towards the end of the show. I want to leave the final word to you. Again, 3-game homestand coming up. What's your message to Rhody Nation for the rest of this season?
You go first.
My message, be ready for some dubs, man. Come out, continue to do what you're doing. You're doing great. I don't know, bring some more people if you can. I don't know, if you want to hug, you know, I'm a great hugger. You know, hug, you know what I'm saying? So come out and support. Thank you guys for doing what y'all are doing, and then be ready for some more.
Yeah, thank you for everything. And just, yeah, thank you.
Awesome. That was Tammi, Habib, and Val Ojeda for Rhody Women's Basketball. We're so happy to have you here for your final season, and hopefully it'll end with some accolades for the whole team as well, and some banners maybe as well. Thanks you for everyone who came out to Newport Craft tonight to listen to the show, and everyone listening on Rhody Sports Network as well. Thanks to those from the Rhody staff that are here. Thanks again to Linda Zemke, who's here as well, the coach of the last NCAA tournament team. Thank you to Matt Swiss, who is here on behalf of us at Rhody Sports Properties. Thanks to Michaela Benford, the SID for Rhody Women's Basketball. Thanks to Andrew Meehan for keeping us on air, as always. We want to thank Coach Reiss, Tavi, and Val as well for being with us tonight. That concludes the Tammi Reiss Coaches Show from Learfield, presented by People's Credit Union, live on the Rhody Sports Network.
This has been the Tammi Reiss Show. Tonight's show has been brought to you by People's Credit Union, the official credit union of URI Women's Athletics. New England Laborers, Liuna, Feel the Care. Pizza Gourmet, Rhode Island's wood-grilled pizza crust, is a proud sponsor of URI Athletics. Haxton Liquors, where we buy the most so you pay the least. Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Orthopedics Rhode Island, the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for URI Athletics. Dave's Fresh Marketplace, better food, better service. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Rhody Sports Network.